I knew coming here that Old Town Prague has a lot of landmarks and places to see, but I didn't expect it to be this much. In fact, for the past 2 days, all we did was explore the Old Town and some parts of Lesser Town going to Prague Castle, and we still haven't seen everything. Well, now it's our third day here and we're not done yet. This time we'll check out the rest of the Old Town that we haven't explored yet, which is the southern part of the town, and then make our way to the Lesser Town. So hopefully by the end of the day, we'll finish exploring every landmark and popular places in both towns. But before anything else, we have to see the Church of Our Lady Before Tin, because it was closed when we tried to see it a few days ago. Well, that's after we have breakfast at this cafe first, which is located just in front of the hidden entrance of the church facing the Old Town Square. So as for breakfast, we decided to get palachinka or palachinke. I'm not really sure if that's how you pronounce it, but I've read that it's very popular here. Although I'm not really sure if they eat this for breakfast, but along with it, we ordered hot tea.
Tea. What is this tea? East African's finest tea.
You know, it's amazing to think that there's so many different kinds of tea in the world. In fact, I've read that there are over 20,000 out there, despite having only 6 different types, like white, yellow, green, and black. Although drinking tea is very popular and is considered to be a tradition in many countries, it actually originated in China during the Shang Dynasty, which was in 16,000 BC. Well, back then, tea was used primarily as a medicinal drink, and eventually it transitioned into what we know today. Anyway, as I was about to drink my tea, our waiter came and brought us our food. So this is called palachinka, or in some places palachinke. It might look like crepe, but it's actually a pancake. The only difference between them is that the mixture of the palachinka can be cooked right away, and the crepe needs to rest for a few hours. Anyway, palachinka is a dessert that originated sometime in 300 BC during the Greco-Roman period. I'm not sure how the original version is made, but today it's made up of wheat flour, egg, milk, and salt. You'll find different versions of this dish depending on the country and of course the restaurant, but traditionally it's rolled up with fruits or jam and sprinkled with sugar. Anyway, when we ordered this, I knew there was Nutella or chocolate inside, but I was also expecting some fruits at least.
It's like... You can eat it together.
I don't know how to describe the taste. Well, first of all, the pancake itself tastes like a mix of crepe and American pancake, but the texture is a lot doughier. The Nutella inside though, I have to say was combined perfectly with it, but I'm not sure if the pancake is supposed to be this greasy. Well, it doesn't really matter, it was still good. I think if they added some fruits like strawberries or blueberries, it would have been a lot better. I know I've mentioned this before that I'm not really into sweets, especially having them for breakfast. I'd rather have eggs, bacon, and all that stuff. But I decided to have this just to try it out because I've read somewhere that it's a dish that you have to eat here when you're in Prague. So after eating our palachinka and drinking our tea, it's time to see the church I was talking about. Like I said, we were supposed to see this church a few days ago, but it closed just as we were trying to get in. Well, fortunately today, it's open.
After breakfast, we just had breakfast. We're gonna go in here. We came here like the first day because it was closed. We weren't able to go in and check it out, but today is the day we're gonna see this church. You can't see it from here, but I'll show you a video. So this is the church we're gonna go to. It's the Holy Church of Tyne.
Our Lady.
Oh, Our Lady of Tyne. Tin. I'm not sure. But the thing about this church is that it's hard to find the entrance. So if you're here, the entrance is right there. You have to go right in there. So if you go straight, you'll see the entrance of this church. It's not around, it's not anywhere here, but straight there. So this is like a secret place, or like a secret entrance to get to this church. But yeah, here we go. Let's see. Oh man.
This church is called Our Lady Before Tin. Although this Gothic church was established in the 14th century by King Charles IV, the building you see today was completed in the mid-15th century. Inside this church, they have preserved the original medieval fixtures and decorations, such as the stone canopy from 1493, a stone pulpit, an altar with wooden carving of Christ's baptism, and everything from the Baroque furnishings, sculptures, paintings are all preserved and kept intact.
Look, I don't even know if that's gold. Do you think that's gold? It looks gold, huh? does look like gold. But right here is the organ.
So this organ was built between 1670 to 1673, making it one of the 3 oldest pipe organs here in Prague, and it's also one of the most well-known 17th century organs in Europe. Built by Jan Mund with its 1,665 pipes, he was forced to change a few specifications before it was approved. Then in 1619, it was damaged by fire and was eventually repaired by Mund in 1682. Anyway, a few more repairs and restorations took place throughout the centuries, and now the organ is what you see today.
It's decorated with gold trimmings.
As I walk towards the main altar, I can't help but notice all these other altars decorated with paintings and sculptures. Every single one of them are all different. You know, I'm not sure if people actually use them or they're just here purely for decorations. Either way, it does make this church look nice.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's not that big, but the ceiling is really, really high. I wonder how they're gonna clean that. There's even frescoes there too. Is this the altar?
Actually, it's the main altar of the church. As you can see, it's decorated with paintings. One of them is the Assumption of Mary, and along its sides are a few sculptures. I can't really find a lot of information about this altar, aside from the fact that it was built in 1649. Well, even though this altar is the biggest one here, it's kind of hard to be impressed by it because all the other altars here are just amazing to look at. I'm really satisfied that I was able to finally see this church, because it's the most significant building you'll see the moment you enter the Old Town Square. But to be honest, it's not really that different from all the other churches we've visited here in Prague. I mean, the building or the outside structure looked almost like it came straight from a fairy tale compared to the rest. Well, except for the Vitus Cathedral we saw the other day. But I'm talking about the interior. They all kind of have the same decorations and design.
It's a little foggy today. I mean, it's not that cold. Yesterday was really cold. But we're gonna go over here and check out this landmark. So as we were going to our next destination, we found out that it's about 11 o'clock and the clock's about to do its thing again. So we decided to just wait for it and check out the clock.
I can't count how many times we came to this clock, but every time we pass by the square, I just can't help but wait and watch to see it ring. What can I say? I just can't get enough of it.
I was saying that it's really hard to understand this clock, right? But it's almost here. It's about to ring. Come on, dude. Here we go. Oh, there's a guy with a key. You're over there. I can barely see him. They're just peeking. I thought they actually come out. Oh, the chicken like says that. Alright, I guess that's it. It's time to go over there.
On one of my previous videos, we actually took a closer look at the astronomical clock if you're interested. We actually took a tour and found out what's inside it. Anyway, we decided to stop by the clock again because now I'm able to properly film it ringing. The first time I filmed it, I didn't do a good job because I have no idea what to expect, but now I do. Well, just a few blocks away from the clock, we came to this place.
So right here is the beer museum. What's funny is that this beer museum is right next to this church. We're gonna go inside and check it out. It's not a famous church. It says on my app it's just a church in Prague, but we're gonna check it out. Maybe it's nice. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh my god. It's nice. Man, my app just says it's just a church in Prague. But look at this.
This church is called St Giles. We didn't really mean to see this church. We just got curious and checked it out. We actually came here for the beer museum across the street. Anyway, this church was built in the 14th century with its impressive altar and interior decorations of frescoes, paintings, and sculptures. It's really known for its pipe organ dating back from 1737. And because of that, they always have concerts here. You know, it's funny, I thought it wasn't a famous church, but it was actually featured in a movie called Amadeus in 1984.
And on the sides are almost the same as that other church, huh? The designs. It's a pretty amazing church. An alarm, it says here. But, this is the altar. I wonder if they actually do mass here, huh? You think so?
It said no pictures during service.
Oh. But what's cool is right behind me, there's always gonna be an organ right there. See that? Wow, it's impressive. This place, man. Who would have thought? I'm actually glad we came here. It's better than the beer museum, I guess. Alright, to the next stop, or to the next place.
After we left the church, we ended up not going to the beer museum because, to be honest, we weren't really interested in the museum. We just like drinking beer, that's all.
But right behind me, if you look, oh, you can't really see it. I'm just gonna wait for this car to pass by so I can walk right here. Is our next landmark, which is called it's called Hanging Out. That's Sigmund Freud, by the way.
A lot of people thought that that thing was a real man trying to commit suicide. In fact, many people called the police, but it's actually a statue of Sigmund Freud created by David Cherney in 1996. It's not clear if it shows Freud in this way to signify the man's fear of death, or it's a symbol for challenging the status quo. Either way, the sculpture became popular. They even moved it to different locations in Europe.
People actually miss this right here, but they walk here. But if you know where you're going, you won't miss it. You can clearly see it. But I found that it hung all over the world. Well, not all over. It was hung in Stockholm and London. They keep moving the statue, but it's here in Prague now.
So moving forward, passing through alleyways and little streets such as this, which by the way you'll see a lot here in Old Town Prague, we made our way to one of the most historical streets in the city. But on our way to the street, I noticed this Lego museum. It doesn't seem like it, but I've read that this Lego museum here in Prague is not only the largest in the Czech Republic, but also the entire world. That's kind of crazy if you think about it. Anyway, with over 3,000 Lego models, the museum specializes in world-known historical sites and famous movies as their models.
Really not gonna go do anything or buy anything in there, or even check it out. We're not even gonna check it out. We just wanna walk by because it's on the way.
In case you're wondering, the admission tickets for the Lego Museum is about $10 a person, and for kids, it's about $3. But the street you see here, which is right in front of the museum, is the historical street I was talking about.
So just across from the Lego Museum, this street right here, it's called Narodni Street. It's one of the most historical streets here in Prague. It says that a lot of events happen here, like historical, important events. I think it's got to do with like communism and stuff. But there's like a train, like a tram right in the middle of the street.
Narodni Street, which is formerly called Narodni Street, like I said, is one of the most historical and important street here in Prague. Reading about this street, I guess the most significant event that took place here was the Velvet Revolution in 1989. It's a series of anti-communist demonstrations that grew to about 500,000 people, which eventually led to the collapse of the communist government in Czechoslovakia in 1921. And in doing so, a non-communist government was put in place. Today, the streets is lined up with shops, restaurants, galleries, and clubs. You also find important buildings and institutions here, such as the Czech Academy of Sciences and the National Theatre.
Anyway, we're gonna eat here. We're gonna have like brunch here, which is I found this place, which is right here.
We decided to have lunch here because I found out that this cafe is kind of popular and a few famous people ate here as well.
So I'm gonna get the club sandwich. It's nice there's no music here. I'm gonna get the club sandwich with turkey, bacon, and egg. And then she's gonna get the black root cream soup. This is their placemat. It's upside down. See, this says Cafe Lou, but the writing is upside down.
Oh, it's that for you. Here we go.
Oh, okay. Now it works. I don't know what it says. It's in Czech.
English is right.
Oh. There you go. Your customers.
Oh, Einstein used to come here.
Einstein?
Yeah.
Really? This must be a popular cafe, huh? Sounds French though. So this is the cafe, what it looks like. It's pretty big. The cafe is pretty big. I got myself a dark lager beer. Looks very heavy. And then she got, what is this? A latte?
The cappuccino loop.
Ah, looks nice. What is that? Water? Are you gonna mix it?
No.
Really?
I wanna
You're gonna drink it like that?
It's cappuccino.
I wonder what that is. Is it good? It's good? Oh, that's awesome. Look. You opened up like a word.
Oh.
What is that word? Wind.
Wine.
Wine.
Let me try this star.
Oh. 1862. Alright, let me try this beer. It's different from Guinness. Oh, here's the fruit.
So this is the club sandwich I ordered. You know, I just found out that the club sandwich originated in America. I've read that it was created at the Union Club in New York City, while others say it came from a gambling club in Saratoga Springs, which is also in New York. Anyway, the earliest known mention of the sandwich was in 1889 from a newspaper article, but it only started appearing on menus in the United States in 1899. There are many variations of the sandwich, but traditionally it's made with toasted bread, sliced chicken, ham or bacon with tomatoes, lettuce, and mayonnaise. Well, this one is made with turkey, bacon, egg, and mayonnaise. Oh, and I also ordered a side of fries along with it. Now this is the black root cream soup she ordered. I tried researching around the internet for any information about this particular soup, and I couldn't find anything. Nothing about its history or even its ingredients. All I know is that it's made with sour cream, croutons, some kind of leafy greens, and what looks like fried leeks on top.
This is the black bean soup. What is that? Black root soup. I was expecting it to be black, but it's not. They actually poured the sauce in. It looks really good. Creamy. I was talking about the beer. It's I think Guinness is a lot better, huh? Yeah. This lettuce. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Oh, it has eggs. It has boiled eggs in there. Look at that. See that? I still can't taste the turkey. Please fork it up. The bread is nice and crunchy, but the egg, look at this egg. It's quite different. Look, it's like grayish. This is the turkey.
Green.
We're gonna switch. I'm gonna try the soup. It has like bacon. Oh no, leeks. It's like some kind of root. Yeah. Oh. It's kind of strong. It's kind of wait. When you first taste it, there's like a strong taste to it, like a very sharp flavor, kind of like vinegary. Yeah. The sandwich is okay. I mean, I had better club sandwiches. Right? It's very light. I know. It looks heavy, but it's light. The fries are pretty good.
So the club sandwich was okay. I mean, I could taste every ingredient in there. The bacon, eggs, tomatoes, and even the turkey. But there's just something missing to it. It could be that it's too clean, like it needs some kind of butter or more bacon juice. I don't know, it could also be the turkey, because I have to admit, I'm not really into turkey. But one thing I could say, if I was craving for a clean and light sandwich, then this is just perfect. And about the black root cream soup, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I definitely haven't tried anything like it. All I could remember is that it was really creamy and it had that sharp soury taste to it. You know, I'm not even sure if she liked the soup. I think she actually liked her coffee better.
This is so cool. Like right in front of the cafe before you enter, they have this thing. It's the whole map of Prague. And it looks pretty old. Look, if you press a button, like right there, I'm gonna press this button. It's gonna light up somewhere. There it is. That means that's where the location is, right? And then if you need to call someone, old school, you can ask him where you are. But it's pretty cool. Okay, after our brunch, we headed this way. This place is called the Rotunda of the Finding of the Holy Cross. It's supposedly it was founded in 1125. That's according to my app right there. But I don't think you can go inside. The gate is locked. Looks like a very small church, huh?
Is it a church?
Yeah, it looks like there's a bell tower up there. See?
There's a door.
1125. It's old. See, it's closed. Looks like this gate hasn't been open for a while.
The Rotunda of the Finding of the Holy Cross is a very small church dating back to 1365. But it is said that the building you see here is much older and once belonged to a mansion used as a private sanctuary. Anyway, sometime in 1784, the church was closed down and became a warehouse. They eventually planned to destroy the building, but an organization intervened and saved it. Today it's used by the Catholic Church and worship services are regularly held here.
Okay, so this is the next monument we're gonna go to. This is like a little park, really small. There's like homeless people here too, but sleeping. But this is the Craner's fountain. I think I've read it right. If I read it right, it's the King of Austria. It's dedicated to the King of Austria.
Actually, it was dedicated to Franz Joseph I, who was the Emperor of Austria, King of Hungary, Croatia, and Bohemia, which is present-day Czech Republic. The fountain was built sometime in the late 19th century, and the statue of the emperor sitting on the horse was installed in it. But it eventually became unpopular to the residents here after Czechoslovakia declared independence from the Austro-Hungarian Empire in World War I. So the statue was removed and placed in a museum, but sometime in 2003, the fountain was reconstructed to make it fully functional, and they also installed a replica of the statue back in its original place.
It's still quite foggy here, if you see. It's already like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. But we just wanted to check out this fountain. And then if we go straight that way, we're going to the National Theater of Prague. Just a block away from the fountain that we saw. This right here is the National Theater of Prague. It was in like 18 something. But it got burnt down Oh, this is pretty close. They got burned down several times, I guess, or once, I don't know. But they reconstructed it and it looks like this now.
The National Theatre here in Prague belongs to the Ministry of Culture, which is the most important Czech cultural institution. It's known to be the mother of Czech opera and a national symbol of Czech history and art. The theater started construction in 1868 and was first opened in 1881, but it was temporarily closed down for some finishing touches, and in the process, a fire broke out and destroyed the copper dome, the auditorium, and the main stage. It was eventually rebuilt in 1883, and today it performs the most prominent acts of opera, ballet, and drama.
And then right in front of it, or like right next to it, is the magical lantern. Yeah, it's magical lantern is what you call it, or I don't know how you say it in Czech. Laterna magica or something. But it's supposed to be like a modern multi theater. It's actually the world's first multimedia center or theater. Right there. I don't know if I should take a shot of that. Should I?
Yeah.
Alright.
So this building is actually called the Magician's Lantern Theater. Like I said, it's considered to be the world's first multimedia theater. The Magician's Lantern is a cultural program that started at the 1958 Brussels Expo. Then soon after, it performed all over the world. Their productions blends digital technologies with original works of dramatic acting, dance, ballet, mime, and black theater. Today it operates as the National Theatre's fourth company, performing many programs from books to various educational projects.
It actually does look like a lantern. Like made of glass. Looks like it, the whole thing. But like I said, right in front of it is the National Theatre, which is a lot older. But anyway, we're not gonna go inside both of these. We just it was just along the way because we're gonna go across that bridge. So from the National Theatre, this is the Bridge of Legions.
This is a granite bridge built between 1899 to 1901, linking the lesser town with Narodni Street. The bridge's name has been changed a few times, originally from Franz Joseph to a famous Czech composer, and finally to Legion Bridge. The name Legion Bridge is named after the Czechoslovakia Legion that formed during World War I in support to create an independent country.
So this is the Bridge of Legions. We're gonna cross it and go in there. There's like a certain park there that we're gonna go to. There's some kind of landmark in there.
Which is why it's easy for us.
And then I think we're gonna take a tram, maybe a train all the way up there. We'll see. That's like Charles Bridge right there. So we're still right in the bridge. I thought it was over here, the spot or like the landmark. It's actually that one right there. We missed it. Go ahead. It's the Palace of Zoffin. That's what it's called. It's only just a building built in the Renaissance period. I'll see if we can. I'll see if I can film that tomorrow, because we're gonna go there tomorrow. That's the new town, by the way. And right here is the old town of Prague. So that's the old town of Prague, and then that's the new town of Prague. We're gonna go here tomorrow, and I don't know if we have time. We're gonna go visit that palace. But for now, it's kind of too late because I don't want to go back. It's kind of a long walk because we're heading this way. This is the memorial for the victims of the communism back in I don't know, it says 1948 to 1989. But the sculptures are up there. That's the most prominent one. I mean, that's the most what do you call it, relevant in this monument right there, the statues. So this is the sculpture, but the thing is, there's somebody taking a dump right there.
The memorial to the victims of communism, as you can see, are statues representing the victims of the communist era between 1948 to 1989. You see, the Czech Republic was once ruled by the Communist Party of Czechoslovakia, which was part of the Soviet sphere of power in 1948. Thousands of people suffered greatly. Private property was taken away, and political and human rights were suppressed. Eventually, it led to a period in 1968 called Prague Spring, where political liberalization and mass protests by people began. But the Soviet army invaded the country, making the situation much worse. Throughout the years, the communist regime and the Soviet Empire gradually weakened, creating mass protests and demonstrations by the people, which eventually overthrew the communist government in 1989. So to memorialize the victims during that time, they created this monument. It shows each statue's decaying, symbolizing how people were affected by communism, and a bronze strip that runs along the center shows how many were arrested, exiled, imprisoned, and killed.
This is the monument, the statues and stuff. But apparently, I think, because they're like looking straight over there, which goes to here. If you look at it, what they're looking at. It's the bridge. That's the bridge where we crossed and walked all the way up here.
I'm not really sure why the statues are facing this way. Maybe it's because this street connects to the Narodni Street, where the Velvet Revolution began and ended the communist regime.
The thing about it is that we're gonna have to go up there. Or somewhere here. We have to go up here somewhere to get to the tram all the way up the hill. But there's like a guy. There's like two people up there, and I think one guy's taking a shit. He is. Okay. So this is the Fenton Funicular. That's what they call it, but it looks like a gondola. It's like a train or a tram that goes all the way from here, all the way up to the steep of the mountain right there, on the top of the mountain, I should say. But I'm not quite sure if it's open or not, because it says on my app that every 15 minutes this thing it goes up and down every 15 minutes. I heard something. But let me check and look around and see if I can ask somebody how this thing works. If it does, definitely film it. We found the ticket booth. It's right here, and I think it's closed. I'm gonna get close to it and read it. So it's definitely closed. I'm not sure why, because it says in October, or this month. It says that this month it's open, but it's definitely closed. That kind of sucks, because our plan was to go up there because there's a whole bunch of stuff up there. But I think we can still go up there. We just have to walk. But I'm not really up to hiking that steep hill. It's too high. I'm not sure. We can still do it, but we have to walk though. But we really don't need to, because I don't know what's up there. So I don't know if you can see this. This is here. This is where we are right now. And if we're gonna hike all this all the way up, we're gonna see this, which is a garden. We're gonna see this one. What the hell? That one, which is also a garden. And then I don't know if it's clear. There you go. And then oh, not that. And then we're gonna see this, which is the Petrin Hill, which is up there. Yeah. And then here, let's focus on this. And then also we're gonna see, oh, this thing right here is the Petrin Observatory Tower and the Hungry Wall, which most likely we're gonna miss today because this damn thing is closed. And then here, you know what, we can see this. What the hell? But anyway, we're probably gonna see that. We're just gonna go what we're gonna do is, like, since we're here, since we're here, we're just gonna walk all the way up here to see this landmarks right here, all the way to that spot right there. Yep. So we're gonna go this way. See that path right there? It goes all the way to the Petrin Hill. But I'm too lazy right now. My legs are so tired. And then we still have Athens to go to. And in Athens we have to go to the Acropolis. We have to walk a lot in Athens. But maybe next time. Yeah. What do you think?
When the train is working.
When the train is working. But I really love Prague, you know. I probably will come here one more time during my lifetime. Most likely, probably. Because this place is really beautiful. I actually recommend people to come here. It's really nice. It's one of my favorite cities in Europe.
Our plan was to go up Petrin Hill using the Petrin funicular or the cable car, but for some reason it was closed. So we ended up missing a lot of sights up the hill, which kinda sucks because I really wanted to go there. Anyway, I had to readjust our route and ended up here.